the edge of the pit, and then you
Yeah.
use the shadow step to get up to the ledge where the door is again.
Okay. Yep, no problem. So yeah, because you can bypass just yeah. So you just shadow step to the ledge at the far end by that stone door.
Was it all reset again?
Don't know. I'll find out.
I'll have a look. I'll have a look and see if it has reset.
Yeah. Old Omuan. Omuan. Yeah. Put it in text so chat so you can see. You can decide yourself how you pronounce that.
Can you walk around that town?
What is that? Oh, what is that?
CITV program called we were one step forward, two steps back, big blind helmet on.
Oh, Dungeon
God.
Master.
Nightmare.
Nightmare, that were it.
Yeah, I'll play Nightmare, yeah. And Brian Blessed doing voiceover.
No. No, it wasn't Brian Blessed, no.
Somebody big and shouty.
You seen the relaunching Games Master as well?
No, yeah, I saw that.
The YouTube series.
Focus, people. Focus.
Yeah, yeah. Focus.
Yeah. So
If you take it from the perspective of a single person entering temple, fell first, push a tile on the door. You're going to come back down, have a tile on the floor, the door again.
well, I should be able to do that then. So want the one tile just glowing to begin with, and then that's the one that you climbed onto.
Yep.
So I'll see if there's that one tile glowing on the.
No, none of the tiles on the floor were glowing. No.
Oh right, I thought there were like a mark on one of the
No,
tiles.
no. It was the one the on the bottom line of the grid on the door that was glowing.
That's not right for us. I couldn't see that because they were already on the
Yeah,
floor.
I know. That's because Taxon couldn't see it. That's what I said before.
Ah right.
It were
So
Obol.
So there's one. So there's one glowing now at the bottom of the door.
Yeah.
Right.
And then can I see the corresponding symbol on the grid on the floor?
So there's no symbols. It's just a grid.
Right.
Yep.
So I can see the corresponding square out of the grid then.
So from where you're from up on that ledge, yeah, you can see all the grid on the floor on the platform below you, behind you. Yeah.
It looks like you can skirt around the tiles anyway.
That's just perspective at map. It runs from like wall to wall.
So what if I just use shadow step? So if that one's already lit, then I just shadow step onto the corresponding square on the grid, and then back up to the ledge,
Yeah, see what you're saying. Do it
and then
yourself.
then it saves anyone else coming up and trying to get injured.
Okay. You can do. Sorry.
So you're saying if you're down there by that tile floor, you can't see the one on the door?
No, because the floor it's too high up, so you get your so. See what I'm
That
doing.
wouldn't make sense, though.
Well, that would be a bit odd, wouldn't it? Why is that?
Isn't it like 10 foot tall? This.
It's about somewhere between 7 and 10. It's about 7 or 8 feet tall.
So yeah, you wouldn't be able to see the bottom of the door if you
It's a
were
good point, that
straight
isn't
away
it?
from the
Good
grid.
point, that you wouldn't be able to see. No, good point.
Oh, you're saying that these worshippers were 10 foot tall then?
Well, that's one possible solution.
I mean, for me, if it was one person coming in, they'd need to know which squares on the grid to go to, and then clamber up onto the door.
Oh,
That's
I
what
should
I've done.
mention as well. I should mention as well. The one that's on the bottom of the door is different to the first time when you saw it first time.
So it changes.
What? Sorry, you went robot then. Different.
Yeah, it's a different symbol than the first one. That's the first time we did it.
Okay, well that's a good sign then. That's good cryptography.
I'll try that, Phil, first of all. Then I'll try shadow stepping down to the corresponding square on the grid.
Okay.
Bless before you go traipsing around the fire trap.
You'll not be able to see. You can talk. You can shout to him, but you'll not be able to see him. Not be able to see
Yeah.
Obold is.
Oh, have you already gone?
Yeah, he's already up there. Yeah.
What's his range?
Well, it's a case he won't be able to see. Can't see him.
So
So it's 7 foot up. Sorry, it's 7 foot up this next level.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I'll just
If Kate stands on my shoulders, can you see up there?
I'll just draw you like a little on the map above the thing. I'll draw you a little
it's
a
like
little
15,
side
20
view of
20
it.
foot from where you are, because there's a step up to a level
So
where the grid is, and then there's another step up. So each
So-
one's anywhere between 7 to 8 feet tall. So it's altogether probably like.
So look,
15
I'm
foot.
gonna draw like a side profile with a pen at this, above it, so to match the thing. So it goes along like that. Oops, and then goes up, and then it goes along, and then it goes up. Oh, I cancelled it. Not very good. Along, up, along, up, along, and there is the door. So this is the entrance here. These are the feet outside. So yeah, you can't. And the seat
See the door. We just can't see the.
So this is the ceiling. So you can't sit from the outside. You cannot. Apart from the fact, aside from the fact that it's dark in there. So from here, you can't really see up there.
Okay. Okay, that's fair enough. We just sit back and wait for the sound of explosion.
Yeah. So I'll shadow step then, Phil, to the corresponding square on the grid to this symbol there.
Okay. Right. You do that, and it depresses slightly, ever so slightly, and also emits this a very faint glow as well.
Can I see the symbol on the
There's no symbol.
square I'm in?
There's no symbol.
Right.
There's no symbols on the grid on the floor. There's no symbols on the grid on the door. The only symbol that's on the door is a very small, a well hidden rune that's it's like hidden on the door. Just like remember those magically trapped doors in in that Lich's tower in this underneath.
Right.
So it's like that. So it's a rune that's hidden.
Okay. So I'll shadow step back up to the door then, Phil.
Okay.
I'm sure it's.
And see which one.
So
voice activated.
you what? Sorry, Lee.
I'm sure it's voice activated. It's got to be.
And
There's no other way to open the door, is there?
I'll shadow step down to the next corresponding
Okay.
square on the grid that it shows.
Yep.
And I'll follow the.
So you note
pattern
it as you're doing this as well. So as you go back down to the grid on the floor and looking back at the ledge where the door is before you can see it, because you're moving forward every time, the one that would be lit up, the line that would be lit up on the door is obscured because you're moving forward every time.
Yeah.
So it's never visible The one that's lit up on the door is never visible from the grid on the floor.
I'll keep following this process until I've got all 4 of them.
Okay, right, yeah, you do that. Does it cost you chi points to do this?
No.
No?
Shadow Step's just a bonus action.
Yeah, wow. Dirty.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you see is a bump and a purple smoke cloud.
And a bad smell.
Smell of what were it? Brimstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, all sulphur. Another 2.
Yeah.
So I'll check the grid on the door and make sure it matches what I've
It
got
does.
on the grid on the floor.
Yep, it does.
Right. So do you think I ought to try deactivating this room first before anything else?
No, just speak the Chiltern word for water.
I'll repeat the Chiltern word for water that Zaka gave us then.
Okay, nothing happens.
Alex. Well, there's 3 more elements. Earth, fire, air.
Arc if you're Captain Planet.
I'll shout back and see if I can get the words for those other 3 elements then.
Okay, right. So Azaka passes on the words for each element, and you try each in turn, and they have nothing happens.
Ugh, I'm going to try probably the stupidest action. I'll just touch
No,
the
no,
room.
no,
Phil.
no. No.
I'll touch it and see if it just depresses or anything.
Touch what? Sorry.
The room.
Nothing happens.
Elemental room.
Nothing happens.
Right.
Is
I'm
it
assuming the
worth
rune
that-
then is.
What about that movie that with Bruce Willis where they actually put the elements on the symbol of the elements?
Fifth element.
Oh, I need weird breath.
I'm assuming that the room might just be lit up to show that it's.
It's not lit
The
up.
trap's
The room's not.
activated.
The room's not lit
Oh,
up at
it's not
all.
lit
It's
up.
completely hidden. You only spotted it because you were searching the door. It's tight. It's tiny and it's purposely hidden. It's obviously purposely hidden.
Maybe you gotta just
I just say maybe I have to pour water on it.
just that's
I'll try pouring a bit of water on it then for the water skin fill.
Okay, nothing happens.
set it on fire.
Blow on the symbol.
I'll try that then, Phil.
Yeah,
You
you
try
blow
blowing
that
on it.
symbol.
Nothing happens.
That holy symbol.
Sorry?
I said blow that holy symbol.
You're going to blow the holy symbol of Erroneous.
No, the one on the wall.
Is it one?
Sorry, where's the symbol?
So it's a small. It's only maybe about the size of your fingernail, if that. And it's like I say, it's hidden in the carving of the door.
I'm going to try and press them in reverse order.
The ones that are already lit.
The ones that's lit on the door, yeah.
Oh no, you tried that last time and it blew up.
We didn't try them in reverse order last time. We tried them in 1, 2, 3, and then boom.
Thing is, we didn't actually try them in 1, 2, 3, did we? By the sounds of it, we got one wrong. Because I couldn't see which one the correct one was. I just jumped on the first one that looked like it was shiny.
No, Allball told you which it was.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
told you which they all were.
You're jumping on the ones you're told to.
But then when we press the ones on the door, we just press them as 1, 2, 3, 4, as far as I remember.
Yep, you did. From bottom to top, and when you got to the third one, it blasted you both off.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if you have to do it in reverse order. Because as you're going closer on the grid, you can't see the ones that you're pressing.
Yep. So by the time you got to the fourth one on the grid on the floor, you can't see any of the grid on the door.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if you have to do them in reverse order on the door. I'll try that, Phil. Try
Okay.
pressing them in reverse order, so the fourth, third,
Yep.
second, and then
Right,
first.
you press it. As soon as you press it, there's a sudden blast, and you're hit by a thunder wave, and you can make a. Was it? Oh, it's an intelligence check. Wow, another intelligence check. Is that an intelligence? No, sorry, not an intelligence check. It's a Constitution check. No, that would be weird.
Saving throw or ability check.
A saving throw, a Constitution saving throw. I presume that's. Where's that? Right. Okay, right. So you've made the save. So you take. You take 4 points of damage and manage to sort of grasp the door and stop yourself from being blasted off the ledge.
I think once we've matched up the tiles, I don't think they count towards opening it. I think once that's the first stage and we've done that stage, I don't think it's got to do with the tiles.
They've all gone out as well, apart from the one at the bottom, which is different again.
Reset again.
Can
I
I
mean,
throw
it's
something
different,
out?
Phil.
Can I throw something out there?
It's not the same. The one on the bottom line is not the same one as it was before. It's changed.
This one,
It's a different
at this
position.
point in time, it's just pure guesswork. Is there anything in the surrounding camp that can allude to how we get through here, or have we picked anything up, or is there any local information?
No, we've already had looks through. We haven't found anything.
Well, I'm getting bored now. I'll be honest with you. As much as I do want to get through this, then I've got enough information to pass through this door. So fuck it. Let's just move.
User Obold lacks permission to update settings.
Yeah,
do
it's
that.
it's done the it's all but a whisper from Allbold changing weather again.
And now it says today's weather to Games Master, 74 degrees Fahrenheit.
What the?
Widespread rain today.
Why is that happening? Oh well, don't worry about it. Ignore it for now. Something's obviously clashing somewhere. Go on.
So yeah, we've not got enough information to get through this door. I reckon we fuck it off and just carry on going. This is not for us.
Does Zach know what this symbol is?
She hasn't seen it.
Yeah, well, you described it, and
We
Describe it.
described it, but it Cade that guessed that it was.
Yeah. So you tried to interpret. Yeah. So you interpreted it as being some kind of elemental symbol.
You don't know exactly what.
No.
Alright, well, we've not told her what we're doing, so let's just should we try filling everybody in on what we're doing?
fire.
And if they've not got a clue, then we'll just fuck off.
Depending on what
They've run through all the 4 elements.
how did you know that?
In wrong language.
The first 2 work when we do it from the bottom.
What about
They were the third
Clint's
one.
helmet?
1, 2, 4, 3.
That's just for
That's just for speaking. isn't
speaking
it?
language.
Yeah.
About reading, is it? For reading?
No, I don't think it does for reading. I think it's just for speaking.
Right. Big game talk. Do we actually care about getting through this door anymore? Because I can't see a way getting through.
Let me try one more thing. I'll do the
What's
shadow step thing.
the rest of you that are outside doing? Is anybody doing anything while this is going on?
Big statue.
I'm just staring inside. I don't know. It's a good idea.
Luke's just staring out into the distance, and just, we did have zombies, so keeping half an eye out.
Yeah. Okay.
There's
So
I'm on standby to assist with divination rolls if it's needed. Actually, I need to do divination rolls.
So Salida, she's still sort of stood on the raft, keeping an eye out. Azaka stood by one of the. As you can see, she stood by one of the tents, just not far away from Cade, and she's like leafing through a little notebook that you've seen her to refer to every now and then.
You say what these crocodile creatures were?
Sorry?
Did you say what these crocodile creatures were?
Oh, you're asking Azaka? She says that there weren't crocodile creatures. It's there's a story, an old myth, a story from folklore, from old Chiltern folklore.
Story.
The man and the crocodile.
Does she know the story?
Do you like think for a minute? Says I think I can recall it. I think it goes something like in the early days of the world, man stood by the banks of a river, and he was frightened, and crocodile raised his head from the water and asked, "What troubles you, cousin man?" And the man's
But Phil, this sounds really important. I'm not metagaming, but this sounds like he's monologuing. Can somebody just pay attention, please? I'm not really good at these things.
and the man said, "I must cross the river, but I fear to enter the water alone, because it teems with your brethren." Mr. Crocodile replied, or rather, Crocodile replied, I'm just going, "What time is it?"
Mr. Crocodile. Punch and
What
shoot.
time is it, Mr. Crocodile? Crocodile replied, "It's true, you would not be safe, but I will carry you across the river safely on my back, if you promise to return the favour." Man agreed, and Crocodile bore him safely across the water. When they reached the far bank, Man asked, "How can I repay you?" And Crocodile replied, "I wish to see the realm of humans, but I fear to go there alone, because it teems with your brethren. You must carry me on your back across your realm." Man had been tricked, but a promise is a promise. So he carried Crocodile safely on his back across the entire realm of humans, a journey that lasted many years. He also swore in his anger that never again would men and crocodiles be friends, and so it has remained to this day. So as Axe says, the statue represents the man carrying the crocodile. It isn't a crocodile creature.
Right, right.
I've got an idea. I can turn into a crocodile and somebody carries me. Because that's what happened in the story.
Carries you where?
The dude picked up the crocodile and walked with it.
No, first, no. I think it's opposite. I think you have to turn into a crocodile and someone rides it.
So that's interesting. But do you think that would be something they would have been able to do?
No,
Just-
We've seen big crocodiles, yeah.
no.
Well, why don't we go to the crocodile and you can carry a dead crocodile?
Because that means us leaving this place, finding a crocodile. I can just turn into a fucking crocodile. I've seen crocodiles. By its very nature, I can turn into things I've seen. We fought that big fucking crocodile in Never Never.
Yeah, but who's going to carry you? Because you turn into a large creature, don't you?
No. I can turn into a little one if you want. I can turn into a tiny, tiny one.
Well,
Just
where
put me
you
in your
like
hand.
a hat.
Yeah,
Where
if
you
you
like
want.
a hat.
Anybody.
Yeah, but is it going to open this door?
No.
No, I think you're wrong. That's the entire story. It's just monologue the story about somebody carrying a crocodile. I can turn into a crocodile.
I just think that's nonsensical. I don't think it's actually going to make any difference to open this door.
Can we just blast it open?
Yeah, fireball, no problem. Yeah,
Fireball after
yeah,
fireball
that's
after
good.
fireball.
I'll quickly try my method,
What's that?
Phil. So I'll just do again the same thing I did with the grid and the
Okay.
door.
Yep.
Shadow step them all until I've got all four.
Yep.
And I'll keep an eye on them just to make sure that they don't light up. Well, it doesn't show in like an alternate manner, like the fourth row, third, or second row.
No,
story.
so it's still always the same. It still always starts with the bottom row, the door at the bottom row, the bottom row, then the next. So they get the row. It's always the rows in from bottom to top, but it's not necessarily always the same square of the grid as it was before.
Right.
But it
You
always
see,
goes from bottom to top.
try saying that part out of the story. I wish to cross the river, were it? Try saying that to the door.
I'll try that first then, Phil.
Okay, nothing happens.
Right. Then what I'll do is I'll press them the grid, the ones that are
Sorry?
activated on the door, and I'll do them in order of 1, 2, 4, 3.
Okay, so press the bottom one, then the second one. As soon as you press the top one, it there's this blast again, and you have to make a Constitution save.
So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 1, 2, 4, 3.
You have to make a Constitution save.
I don't think it's the tiles altogether.
Genuinely done. He's just literally reeled off a story about somebody carrying a crocodile.
Ooh, that was a fail. You take 9 points of damage and are knocked off the platform. You fall back onto the grid below, and it explodes it's enveloped in flames.
He's even drawn a crocodile above us. If you look, that's a crocodile. This right here is a crocodile. Look at it.
You can make a dex save at disadvantage because you've just been blasted off.
And if you really want to turn into a crocodile, go for it.
And I'm not carrying a crocodile.
Okay, so you fail. That's fail. Let's say 1, 2.
Well, the fail.
Yeah, disadvantage. And you take 22 points of fire damage.
So that's halved, is it? Because of this evasion.
Have you got evasion? So you've got that thing that reduces it to nothing. So no, that's not half. So that would be 11 then.
So that would bring me down.
I would just go in on you to fail the save.
Yeah, I'll just check in with one.
I shall let Elu High make an intelligence check, I think. In fact, I'll let Lu Hai make an intelligence check, and I'll let Tackling make an intelligence check. But I'm not giving it. I'm not going to, depending on the outcome of that.
What?
Blind intelligence check then also. Should be able to.
So Lu Hai and Tackling can both make an intelligence check.
Shit, I knew that would happen.
Wow. Okay.
Tackling's got a bit better than that.
They
Wow.
were blind. They were blind. I didn't know what they've done.
I can see them.
Can you?
Yeah, dexterity saving throw disadvantage.
No, it means
Lazai intelligence ability checks.
yeah, but Tackling rolled his blind.
Yeah. The Tacklings were the last one.
Well, we're supposed to roll it blind.
It don't matter.
No,
It don't matter. It don't
it's
matter.
Just Dan just did.
It don't matter.
Hey boys, you had your fun then. Can we go now?
Yep, I'm good.
Go on Obold. I'll keep you up and we can get out of this place before more zombies show up.
Or before you suddenly turn extra crispy.
Maybe it has to be water from the river. Like drinking water. You use.
Maybe, maybe it's got to be water that you catch with your own rain catcher. And then you twizzle in the counterclockwise while chanting the special
I'm
ritual
gonna
ceremony.
shadow step back up to that ledge, Phil. I'm just gonna search that door again. It's got to
Okay.
be something else. Because you can't press them in a combination where 1, 2 works, and then you can alternate between 3 and 4, and neither of them work. Otherwise, it's just no combination that does work.
Well, then it's crystal clear there's something else that's required.
What I've been saying.
Yeah. So that's why
Yeah,
I'm having a look around the door again, because there's nothing else apart from that rune or whatever it is that we've seen, or I've seen, that I can find on there, and that does nothing. Doesn't glow. Can't press it.
Only information
So-
we've been given is somebody picking up an alligator and walking through a crocodile and walking through with it.
That won't work though, because how would you get through the pit with a crocodile on your back, then through the saw blades with a crocodile on your back, and then camber up onto the grid?
If you already
Just
had
not feasible.
you already had the crocodile on your back before these traps were triggered, then you could have just walked straight through them. If you're walking through with the crocodile, then maybe they didn't trigger.
No. I can't see every time someone wants to come in here, going out to the river, fishing for
The
a
entire
crocodile.
statue is a fucking guy holding a crocodile. If you don't grab a
Yeah.
crocodile and walk through the door with a crocodile, then you're going to get blasted.
The Egyptians did breed crocodiles, so maybe there's a crocodile pen
I'm
around
happy to
here
walk
in the
away.
long
I'm just
past.
saying, the only thing we've not tried is the one thing that's staring us in the face, screaming, "Pick up a fucking crocodile and walk through the door with it."
That's
Then-
not going to work.
Then tackling.
Fine, no problem. Let's just walk away then.
Tackling.
So what you say? You're saying that they are you saying that they reenact this story?
That's what
Yes,
Dan's saying, yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Complete metagaming. The only bit of information we've got about this entire temple is what Phil's just told us, and that's somebody picking up a crocodile and walking through the gates with it.
So if somebody reenacts a story, do the say if you were going to reenact the story that have just been where you are now, if we were all in a room together and you were going to reenact that story that she's just told you, what would you do?
As tackling, I would turn into a crocodile.
No, that's not what I said.
Off you stand at the door. All Balls has to say what were in that story. I wish to cross a river. And the crocodile repeats what's said in the story. You both do that. You both speak that at the door.
I tell you what then, if we're not going to use a crocodile, take the littlest person, grab him, pick him up and walk across with him. Pretend he's a crocodile.
Very funny.
They want to carry you
Maybe,
into a trap infested.
stepping away slowly, trying to melt into the
No.
shadows. No. You are not doing this to me. No.
Okay, at this point there's a grinding noise and the trap closes up. The pit closes up.
Pit.
Which pit? There's
Pit
only
where
one pit.
tackling. The one that me and you fell down.
Has it been open all that time?
Yeah.
I don't think we're getting through these doors without the story.
If you both stand on that step in front of the door and both in the passages, so
Well, listen,
tackling
why-
has to be a crocodile.
Fafouk is not interested, but outside of Fafouk, why don't you just test Tacklin's theory on the first trap? No harm, no foul. Nothing else, you just fall into a hole and climb back out again. If it works on the first trap, great. If it doesn't, well, then get out of here and make some time up.
I think a trap's a trap.
Any zombies for?
No, it's 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 quite peaceful, I suppose.
Luke tries to make a limerick about something something temple and crocodile, but it's really bad.
If you want to try that tackling, go up to the door where Kobold is, and you both recite that passage.
Not sure that's going to work for the simple reason there is a series of traps to go through. I got like over 2/3 of the way through as a spider on my own. But the entire statue is a person and a crocodile. I think it's going to take 2 people to get through.
You didn't search for what caused them blades to bring, did you?
They did, yeah. Couldn't find anything.
Yeah, we couldn't find anything.
So the only thing that tackling didn't set off when he was when he crawling along the walls or ceiling as a spider was the pit. Everything the blades set off regardless of where he was.
I'll have another look over the door, Phil, just to see if there's
Okay.
anything like
So we'll give you one last hint. So people in the group have mentioned 2 elements that are relevant to it, but I'm not saying any more because I would just give it away, and that might just confuse you even more what I've just said anyway. But 2 different people have said things that relate to the answer.
I assume you might be water and earth. If you're basing it on a story.
No, I think
There's nothing else we've got. Literally, we've got nothing else to base it off. All we've got is the story. That's all we've got.
Because up here, the effects have been fire and wind.
Phil, don't overthink it. I'm sorry, but
Well, that's all 4 elements.
all we've got.
Two that are the trap effects, and then 2 potentially that might.
No, I think Full's trying to be too clever with his clues and has confused everyone. He told us earlier that if you're in a room, just as players, and we were trying to recreate the legend, what would you do? Well, one of you would have to pretend to be a crocodile and climb on the other person's back.
Okay,
And then he said
that's one person's answers then.
And then he said there's 2 elements to the story, and he used elements.
No, I didn't say 2 elements. I said 2 people have mentioned things that I might have said elements. If I said elements, that was the wrong word.
You said elements.
Right, elements was the wrong word. So yeah. So 2
So-
different people have mentioned 2 things that relate to the answer.
So I suspect someone's going to have to piggyback someone, whether they have to be a crocodile or not. I don't know. So we have to decide: A, do we try it, and B, do we need a real crocodile or not? If it works,
No.
it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
I don't think we'd need a crocodile. So it's just too.
Tackling
It's
can
not
be a real
something that could be a
crocodile.
regular thing. It wouldn't be a regular thing that someone would do to get up here every single time. Go out and lug a crocodile somewhere, carry it on his back up here.
You might have a communal crocodile you don't know we've not searched for.
No.
Well, no, this temple's hundreds of years old.
Got a taxidermied crocodile somewhere that they just pick up when they need to.
That we've not found yet.
Anyway, the point is, it's a quick test, so may as well.
The carrying on your back thing, that might. They could probably do that. So it'd be 2 people, as you said, and one carrying the other. But I can't see where they would need to do that unless it's literally at the front of the door.
Still carrying a little holiday weight, so.
Oh, unless one person has to do the first 2, and the second person has to do the other 2. Press the other 2. The grid.
Listen,
What, as in 4 people using 4 people on the grid?
No, 2 people. But the first person presses the first 2 corresponding grid things, like 1 and 2, and then the second person presses 3 and 4.
one person has to be down on the floor and one person next to the door.
You've already
Yeah,
tried
but-
that.
We've
It'd
tried
be a
that.
croc.
And that didn't work.
So
Be a croc.
just piggyback someone, then we can get it over with, and if it works, great. If it doesn't work, we can fuck off and do something else. I'm really getting bored.
Right, so Bobald's already up there, so it's going to need somebody else. Me and somebody else.
It was crocodile pressing the tiles on the floor. A human pressing the tile on the door.
Phil
Fine.
told us that if we tried to recreate it as players in a room, how would we do it? And we don't have a crocodile in the room, so it would have to be a person. I would just
Fine.
go with people. Besides, unless you know how to train a fucking crocodile to press buttons.
You don't need to.
Nothing can be a crocodile.
I can be a crocodile. Fuck me, I said this 30 minutes ago.
No, I know, but this is what I'm saying. The priests wouldn't have been able to train a fucking crocodile. That's what I'm saying. How did the priests
Unless they had
do
a
it?
druid that did this.
Okay, Azaka, were these priests known to be druids who could shapeshift?
She's no idea. They would have been shamanistic religion, perhaps.
Okay, so basically they're off their tits on drugs. They knew what they saw. Just what someone carry someone else. It's not for fluke. He's not going in there.
Little guy, you're with me.
Cade, no. I've already told you to get lost. He doesn't want to walk into a temple filled with traps.
No. I wait until it's all clear.
Okay, Lazai, I'll be picked up by you or you will be picked up by me. Which one do you want to do? Either way, we're going to get blasted if shit goes
Well, you
south.
want me to pick you up as a
Or-
crocodile?
No, not as a crocodile. We're not doing the crocodile thing anymore, apparently.
Play and clamber on your back.
Give me
What
a
end?
piggyback.
Yeah, give him a piggyback.
What end?
I'm going to 69 you. I'm going to jump in like a fucking piggyback.
I think he said to what end?
I heard what end. I'm thinking upside down.
For what end? What's it going to gain as
Right,
you
I'm going to jump on your
piggyback?
back and then we're
Lee,
going to
have you not been listening to our whole discussion point about
I'm gonna
people
jump-
carrying people?
I'm going to jump
People
on your back
carrying people.
and then we're going to make one step, one 5-foot step, and we're going to see what happens.
To this pit.
Yes, come to me. I'm going to jump on your back and then we're going to make a walk.
See
You
what
need to
happens.
be into a crocodile then if you're doing that theory.
No, because
No, I don't
we've
think it
already-
requires a crocodile. I think it's a symbolic act of carrying.
Yep, the carrying act.
That's what we're saying.
Religion is all about symbolism.
If you want me to turn into a crocodile, I can.
Yeah, it's not a literal thing, it's a symbolic thing.
Try it then.
Okay.
But
Yep, let's do this.
I think a trap's a trap.
So what are you doing?
Let's see. I'm going to jump on Luhai's back and we're going to walk 5 feet forward. And see what
Okay.
happens.
Well, Louis is going to walk. I presume you can't walk if you're on his back. Is that what you're doing?
I'll whip him like a horse.
Okay. So yeah. So
And,
you go on. Sorry.
I'll get ready to save Fall Phil.
Just drop him. Ah! Okay.
I'm having a laugh.
Okay. So you give tackling. Oh, God, wrong thing. So you give tackling a piggyback.
Yep.
It's rolling dice now. Yeah. Right. You step out. Nothing happens.
Again, step again.
Nothing happens.
Whip him. Whip
Oh,
him,
oh, oh,
Jackson.
oh. Okay, step again.
I'll go for it again then, Phil.
Nothing happens.
Ah, yes. Carry on,
again.
Phil.
Nothing happens. It's dark here, by the way. You can't see very well.
I've got night vision.
No, Lou High hasn't.
No, I'm telling you. Walk
Yeah.
straight forward.
Yeah, but he can't see his feet.
No,
Get me
one
top.
cohesive
He's-
unit.
he-
One
he-
foot one
He's
in
doing-
front of the other.
He's doing this
Got this.
nightmare style.
I'm watching his feet. If his feet look like they're going to go mental,
Okay,
I'm gonna-
right, fair enough. I did. Fair
You
enough.
asked, I've told you. Let's go.
Yeah, I'd rather I told you, but anyway. Right, okay, so you're at this wall.
Hang on. Before you clamber up the wall, I'll have a look and see which square on the grid is going to be the first one, Phil.
Okay, so the space at the top, you can actually, well, if you're careful. But yeah,
I'll let them know which one is the first square that they need to climb up at.
okay. So
Just
let
stand up.
just for argument's sake then. So it's the second one from the left.
So come on. Yeah, okay.
Their left.
The left, you know, as if you're facing the door. It's the same one. You're facing the. It's as if you're facing down the
Oh.
corridor. Yeah, you're facing the door. You'd have to
Sorry.
look at the door to be able to see it, wouldn't you? So you're facing the same
Yeah.
way.
Right, let's do this. Top left.
Oh,
Right,
but
one,
you got
two, three,
to you've
four.
got to you've got to climb up this wall first.
Yeah, he's going to have to climb up with you on his back.
Can do it. We're gonna do a fifth.
Okay.
I'll brace myself with a rope, Phil, and I'll throw the other end to them,
Okay.
so it helps them, so they can use it to climb up.
Okay.
Not going to let go of tackling.
Well, I presume he can hold on himself.
Yeah, he can strangle you as you're climbing up, asphyxiate you.
Tall as a wall.
It's about 7 foot.
So it's not that difficult to climb, I would imagine. Just made a bit more difficult because you've got tackling on your back.
Yes, sweaty dwarf balls right next to your head.
Okay, you can make an athletics check then for Luhai.
Advantage because he's got the rope.
Roll the one, please.
It just lowers the difficulty class. It's not advantage.
Okay, fine.
Unwatch this go horribly. If Declan falls off his back, do you think all the traps go off at once?
A normal roll.
Athletics check. Yeah.
A normal roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, nearly did. Right. So yeah, with it's a little bit hard, and you have to be a bit cautious, especially since it's dark and you can't see what you're doing. But you do manage to clamber up onto this dark ledge. So Luhai, you cannot see.
Oh, hang on, let me just check something.
well, this guy's got a green flame torch in his pack.
I have-
Got him.
But you didn't say he pulled it out. So.
I believe there's a.
Sappy,
What? Go on. Sorry.
Just run my backpack while you're up there and get that glowing lantern out and glowing. Watch out.
Well, he sticks his hand in his backpack and he starts fiddling around and whoop, two lost, whoop, two, and then green lantern straight out.
Okay. Right. Fair enough. Right. Now it's now illuminated, bathed in a green light, so you can see, and not going to end up having some embarrassing mishap, which nearly happened. Right. So yeah. So you stood on the edge of this platform now, with the grid on the floor.
So I'll point them to the one that they need to step onto first.
Okay. And Luhai, you're the legs.
I'll the one that is pointed to them.
Okay. Right. You step on it. As you do, it depresses slightly, and there's a faint glow appears around it.
Then I'll look for the next one. the
Okay.
second one.
So the on
Pointing to
the
that.
next row. So tackling, you can see the one that's lit up.
The door.
Yes, on the door.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, is he sitting on his back or his shoulders? 'Cause
On
he's
his on his shoulders. On his shoulders. It'd have to be his shoulders.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't climb up the wall otherwise.
As long as it's over 7 feet, I think we'll be fine.
So both Obold and tackling can see that it is the fourth one from the left to the right that's lit up. So this one, where my pointer is.
Yeah.
Can we make that way from where we are?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd only be a hop because it's only like 2.5 feet away.
That then.
Okay, and you move closer, whereas but you can still see the top two rows on the door because you start on the shoulders. Okay, so you can see that it is now the third square on the grid, third from the left. So this one where my pointer is.
Just
On that one
whisper
then.
to look higher. Say, you smell fantastic.
Okay, right. So you step onto there, and you can now just see the top line of the grid on the door, and you can see that the one is the third tile again on the grid. So the one directly in front of you that's lit up on the door.
This happened last time, and then everything went south. Yeah.
No, that
No.
was when that was when you're up on
It's
the.
when you pressed them on the door that it all went south.
Yeah.
So far, so good then.
So you're stepping on that, Luhai? I think that was a yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, right. Step on that, and like before, it depresses slightly, and there's a faint glow. You're now stood facing another 7-foot wall.
I'm going to shadow step back to the shadows in front of that pit fill.
Okay.
All the way over it.
Rightio.
So we have to climb this wall where you still on my shoulders.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
You've already like you've already done.
we could do it in as like one entity. We could do that whereby you kind of throw me up and then I.
Well, you've already climbed at one like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We just
Do it
follow
again.
the same pattern. Yeah,
Right.
do it again.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Which one?
Well, the one who's doing the climbing, you're not doing the climbing. You can actually help him, I suppose, by taking some of the weight.
Well, I guess if I were on top, I would be
Gripping his neck
fine.
with your strong dwarven
Drag him in.
thighs as you drag him up.
Oh, so you want to get up as a separate person then?
No.
Oh no!
As one entity. No. What I'm saying is,
You can give him a help action though.
if I am on top of him, then it would be me going up and then dragging him up. He's not going to pull me up, is it?
Well, he's not gonna dangle from your thighs. He's gonna use his hands and legs to pull himself up as well.
Yeah.
He's just
It's,
pulling
it's, you
himself
just
up
you've
with
just
your
you've just
with
right.
your
Stop. You've done this already. Just make the fucking roll.
Which one?
Luhai climbs up with you on his shoulders. You can assist him by taking, because you're the weight on his shoulders, so you can assist him because you can use your leverage as well to relieve some of the weight.
Tacklin roll. So Luzai rolls and it's a lower DC,
Yes.
exactly like the first one.
Yes.
Been doing.
Yes.
Are we all right now?
Oh.
Roll.
Roll.
Roll. Please fucking roll.
exactly the same.
Okay, right. So, you managed to drag yourselves up. Luhai managed to drag you both up with you still on it, with Tacklin still on his shoulders, up onto the ledge, and you are now stood in front of the door. The 4 same sections on the grid on the door are lit up. Are still lit up.
The Chiltern word for water.
Nothing happens.
Like a suggestion?
Say it in common, Phil.
Nothing happens.
Can we press the symbols in order as they appear?
Oh,
We didn't
no.
actually get. No. Listen to me. We didn't get to the 4th symbol last time.
There's no
We did
symbols.
1, 2,
Yeah, we did get to the 4th one last. The 4th on the grid, we got to the 4th one.
Didn't.
It's on the grid. We did. It's on the door that we.
Yes,
didn't.
yes, on the grid, yeah, but not the grid on the door.
Yeah.
So what I'm suggesting is we do the same this time, but because we're a twosome, it might work. Everything else has just led us through.
I'd try that because you carrying him is like you through everything else. So I'm assuming it has to be you carrying someone that has to press these buttons to get through.
Because he that presses the.
Sorry?
Yeah, I would say you press them because you're the one carrying. So you're doing all the legwork and everything else anyway. He's just sitting on your shoulders, like the crocodile. So you press them, going in order, and I'd start from the ones going from the bottom of the grid up to the top. Since the first two always seemed to work, and it was always the third one that kicked off.
Tackling agrees.
That pattern then.
Sorry?
I'll try that pattern then.
Okay, so you're pressing the bottom button, then the one on the bottom row, the second row, the third row, and the fourth row. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. You sort of crouch down slightly and press the one on the bottom row, and it goes out. You press the one on the second row, and it goes out. You press the one on the third row, and there's a blast of blast of thunder, and you both must make a Constitution save.
I wonder if it has to be the person being carried that presses the third and fourth one then.
Why don't we just stop pressing the kin tiles?
Yeah, let's just bail. I'm
I
fine.
think it is the person that's being carried has to press the third and fourth one.
Can you both make a Constitution save, please?
Oh, nice one.
I think mine went through blindfold.
Yes, unfortunately, tackling failed and is blasted from your shoulders, taking 9 points of thunder damage, and fall into the grid below, which and is engulfed in flames, which erupt from the walls and the ceiling. Lu Hai takes 4 points of damage and manages to keep his footing on the top ledge.
The sergeant evasion.
That only works
So-
for dex-based stuff.
Okay.
Did you
So
say
it
4
must be able-
points?
4 points, just 4 points, yeah. And tackling takes another 26 points of fire damage.
Wait.
There's a blast of singed dwarf comes down the drifts down the passageway out to the outside world.
Does that actually happen? Or back on my outside again?
No, no, 'cause I know the smell of you burning.
Oh, okay.
Smell of roasted dwarf and singed beard.
Happened
Probably
again!
beardless by now. Probably beardless by now, to be fair.
No. No, Teflon and asbestos.
Okay. So you recover from. Take a moment to recover from that, or what you're doing now.
My suggestion is do it again with the squares, but when you're pressing them on the door, Lu Hai presses the first two and Tackling just presses 3 and 4.
No, I'm well, you wouldn't do it in 5, but
To carry him back through on my shoulders.
Sorry? You're going to carry him back through on your shoulders.
To tackling. Me to carry him back through on my shoulders.
yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Right. Okay. So getting down the wall is a bit easier. So you just like have to sit on the edge and drop down. So yeah, where you carry Tackling all the way back through without any issue. Oh, nice.
22 hit points back.
Nice.
Thank you.
What are you doing now?
thing we've not tried, isn't it? And that's
Yeah.
the 1, 2 plus 3, 4.
And I think that would work. Because it's taking 2 of you to get through the trap, so it's going to take 2 of you to get through the door.
Well, if we're doing symbolism, I personally would have just said temples made by people, so first doing carrying pressing buttons.
Yeah, they
We
tried
tried
that.
that.
Not worked.
Tried that and didn't work.
So the person that's symbolising the crocodile, I think, has to press the other 2.
It's risky.
There's 2 lots of passage in. There's 2 lots of passage in there. There's the
Can't
human
just
across
push
the
door
river.
open.
Yeah, but there's the human across the river, and then there's a crocodile across the land. So, first 2 might symbolise the river, 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 might symbolise the land. So that might be why the person symbolising the crocodile has to press the other 2.
I'm happy to try it. However, I'm literally at just over 50% health. If I was taking
sorry.
another hit, like that, then it's gonna fuck me up.
Well, then you cost another healing, so I haven't realised.
No, that's not what I'm asking for. I'm just...
How much damage you took. You get another 15. Another 15.
I would suggest that those are the last things to try. If that don't work, then we just give it up.
So, is Obald still injured? Confused.
Yeah. Yeah, looking badly injured at the minute.
You are.
10 and 30.
So what are you doing, guys?
I think we'll try it one more time based on the fact that somebody carrying the crocodile and then the crocodile pressing the numbers.
Yeah. So do exactly what you did before, but when it comes to pressing the grid on the door, Lu Hai presses the first 2, and then you press 3 and 4.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Can we fast forward to that hill, please?
Just waiting for confirmation from Lee because he's the legs in this situation.
I think I've turned me stiffed it down a bit too much.
Oh, so you're all for you're up for you agree with this, do you, Lin Lee? Lu Hai?
One last go.
Okay, right. So the Lu Hai tackling amalgamation makes its way back through the corridor, clambers up the wall. Tackling is able to relate the precise combination of tiles on the grid, and you're able to navigate the grid. You clamber up the wall and are now stood in front of the door with the lit squares on the grid on the door.
It's the Einstein quote, isn't it? Repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Is the definition of insanity. Yeah.
Oh, it's not the same exact.
We're not doing the same thing.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay, so Lu Hai, what are you doing?
I'm pressing the first 2 and then pressing the last 2.
And then what? Sorry.
I'm pressing the first 2.
Yeah.
Tackling's pressing the last 2.
Okay. Right. So Lu Hai, you press the bottom one, then you press the second one. Tackling, you press the third one, and it goes out. You press the fourth one, it goes out. There's a shower of dust as the door shudders and slides into the floor.
Fuck yeah!
I knew it wouldn't be just that room.
Revealing a room beyond. There's a
Be careful.
floor. There's a 40-foot high, 20-foot wide chamber that's littered with dinosaur bones, and webs stretch from the walls to a 30-foot tall central pillar, coiled around which is a narrow stone staircase, its steps covered with dust and debris. Carved into the pillar are reliefs of a man carrying a crocodile. The reliefs follow the stairs to the top of the pillar, on which sits a large, beautiful ceramic jug.
You mean trap?
Why am I thinking about mimics right now?
Spider webs anyway, so
This is what you do to us, Phil. You scare us.
there'll be some spiders.
You put the torch out for a moment.
Yeah.
Just for a moment.
Wonder if opening the doors disabled the traps.
Blue eye.
Oh,
You put the torch out for a moment.
alright, yeah, I'll put it away for a second. Well, a couple of seconds still.
Okay.
Because I'm going to clamber along the edge of this pit, Phil, where that ledge is.
Yeah.
And then shadow step
Radio. Okay. So yeah. So that
to
enables.
there.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay.
The torch back out then.
Yeah, you can put the torch back out now.
I'm going to suggest trying to step onto pit trap floor to see if it's disabled all the traps.
Right. Yes, I see what you're doing. However, we don't need everybody in this little room right now. Let's just get what we need and get the fuck out of it.
I think we're gonna.
It's taken us 2 weeks to get here. Let's not put everybody in this room and then die.
We might need everybody in this room.
You reckon? It's a very small room.
It's high.
Ooh, heights.
Have
The
a look at
spider
it.
webbing.
Yeah, is it the giant spider webbing or just normal webbing? Exactly new last time. Whether it was
Well, since the webs are like 30 foot, you're stretched like 30 and 40 foot, between 20, 30 and 40 foot, I would say no, they're not normal spider webs.
yeah, there's going to be an arachnid in there of some sort. Then.
They do look old and dusty though.
Put the torch away for a second. And again, Lou high.
Cover it up, Phil.
Okay.
And I'll shadow step
Anything?
Phil to here.
Okay.
And I'll have a look around and I'll look up. Especially since there's lots of spider
Okay, you
webs.
can make a perception roll.
Oh,
Can't see anything untoward.
I'll shout back then, it looks clear from here. The door's not shut or started
Nope.
shutting or anything.
Nope.
So I'll make a step in.
So what on what you getting off Lou High's shoulders?
No, I'm just gonna do. I'm gonna whip him through like a.
Okay. So you want Lou High to step then, because you can't step yourself,
Yes,
can you?
please.
I'll step through, yeah.
Righto. Okay, right. You
Put
step
down now.
you step through, sort of walking through this old webbing and stepping through like all these bones scattered across the floor.
I suppose you can get off my shoulders now.
No, whoa. No. Let's not do that. Why would we tempt fate?
Obel's stood there.
Yeah, but each shadow step there, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't step on anything
Okay.
apart from where I am.
Like an instantaneous location thing.
Yeah, but we're out of the trap now.
Do you want me to carry you? You can actually go on the back of your arm. It's fine. I'll pick you up and we'll walk around with you. I think we should stick together. Everything
I'll-
we've just gone through.
well,
I don't
I'll
think
have a
it's
look.
worthwhile.
I'll have a look at this pillar, Phil, while they're arguing.
Okay.
See if
So
I
yeah,
can
it's like
measure
a
it out on there.
so like the rest of the structure, it looks like it's carved out of the rock. So it's a single it's a single thing. It's not it's not built in bricks or anything. Or at least
Is it
doesn't appear to
storied?
be. So it's 30 foot tall, and there's a narrow stone staircase that runs that coils around it. Steps about each step's a foot tall, and they're about just over a foot wide, maybe almost a couple of foot wide. And following there's reliefs carved into the wall, into the wall of the pillar that follow the stairs round. Yeah, so there's a carved reliefs of a man carrying a crocodile up the steps.
I think you'll have to carry him up the steps, move high. If we're still going with the symbolism thing, I think you'll have to carry him up, because if one person tries to go up, I think something will happen.
That makes sense.
What are you
Kicking
doing?
your heel. Yeah.
Take a step forward, Phil.
Okay. Nothing happens.
While he's
Go to
stepping
the...
towards the pillar, I'll move this way so we cross over at the same time, Phil.
Okay. What, walking?
Yeah, because I can't shadow step because he's got a torch out.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. Keeping going then, Luhai. Right. You make it to the bottom of the spiral staircase. This narrow spiral staircase.
Any handrails on it?
No. No handrail.
There's no health and
Think of the
safety
safety.
executive in D&D.
There's no handrails,
But
and the steps are
could
quite. So the steps are unusually quite large. They're about, like I said, each step is about a foot high.
No, she's fine.
I'm thinking I have to carry Tackling up and
Yeah.
picks up the jug.
Okay, I'll
think-
grab the jug. It's fine. Just walk us to the top. We'll take this jug, and then we'll pay.
What are you
Alright,
doing?
Phil.
You in? Go up the steps. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Can you make a dexterity check then, Luhai, please? Okay. You cautiously and tottering slightly to make your way round this this staircase that spirals round this central pillar, and you eventually make your way to the top, to this narrow circular platform on the top that's barely 5 foot across, and sitting on a raised plinth, taking up even more space. So you've got even less than space than that. Is this beautiful looking, dusty ceramic jug?
They got on it. Pictures, symbols.
Let's see, what's it say? I'm not sure if there's a picture or not. Where's this?
How big is it?
It's about a gal. It looks about a gallon jug.
Okay, in sort of metric.
I
I don't know what a gallon is.
No, I couldn't tell you what a metric, a gallon. A gallon is
gallon
8
is-
pints.
8
It's
pints.
4.5 liter roughly.
There you go.
Yeah, so like 2. Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
metric.
but when Americans say gallon, they mean something else. Don't
Yeah,
they?
well, we're not American.
Yeah, that's obviously.
I'm going with this. So gallon. It's written in the yeah. So gallon.
Written in the American book, yes.
Yeah. So we're going with yeah, UK gallons. It's written like a UK gallon. I don't know if this is written if they're right. Anyway, it's a gallon jug. That's all I'm saying. Okay, but it's
Be right back.
so who's picking it up? Tackling's picking it
Yeah,
up.
I'm grabbing
Okay,
it,
right.
grabbing it.
So it looks like a gallon jug, so it's quite about so big.
Ooh,
Can you see me?
fancy. Well, I'll just
But it's much heavier than it appears. So it's a gallon jug, but it weighs 12 pounds.
I've got it.
And as you pick it up, you can hear it sounds like there's some water, something sloshing around inside it.
Ooh, what does it look like?
What?
The water that's sloshing around. Is it
I
just
don't know. You have to take the it's got a cork. It's got a stopper in it, clay stopper.
Okay. I'm gonna leave the stopper in it and just stick it in the backpack.
Okay, it won't fit in your backpack. It's too big.
So hold on to it.
Yep.
Grab onto it.
You could, if you emptied everything out, you could fit it in, but if it'd fill your entire backpack.
No, it's fine. I'll just hold on to it. I'll make it out of it.
Okay. You going back down now then, or are you doing anything else, or what are you doing?
We should probably check for the treasure.
Just wondering if it to drink whatever's in it and then but leave the jug here.
You're gonna drink up some dry crocodile dusty balls. Piss pig.
It's crocodile piss. It's the sacred crocodile piss.
Nice.
Me and you, we have no idea what this is, so let's just take it back, and if it is crocodile piss, you just pour it away. It's fine.
Fermented
Gosh,
crocodile piss. 400-year-old's fermented crocodile piss.
There you go. Delicacy in China.
What are you doing, legs?
Come back down.
Okay, can you make a dexterity check, please?
With advantage, because I've been on Atkins diet for a while.
No.
Okay.
Ability check.
Ooh, bosses it.
Nice one.
Okay,
I
right.
thought I were going to get a Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
What's the opposite? I've not seen the opposite. What's the opposite?
It's like, did you not see them? They're like red sparkles.
No.
Yeah. You can change it to the other way around, I think. So yeah, so Luhai sort of lively skips back down the steps, and you rejoin Obold back at the door at the top of this ledge.
Somersault down, Phil.
Somersault down. Tackling falls off.
Like a Luke when his
Front flip each drop.
Luke when he's training where you're on his back.
Yeah.
He's doing up somersaults.
That would be amusing.
So yeah, the jug's like like I say, it's really a beautiful looking jug. It's all like got bright, almost like bright enamel colours on it, all over it. There's no particular picture or anything, but it's just really looks like an abstract representation of the jungle, perhaps, maybe. Lots of bright colours. Looks very pretty. What are you doing? So you're all here.
Well, I'll tell him to take the torch out, put the torch away for a moment, and then I'll shadow step back down here, Phil.
Okay. Bong.
Yeah.
Get the torch back out.
Okay.
Spot swing goes
Fine. Why they've got whatever were in that room.
Do everything in reverse then, Phil. I'm down the wall with tackling still on my back.
Right. Okay. Yep. So you head back out with tackling, carrying carrying your trophy, proudly carrying the. So Lu Hai finally emerges from the shadows with tackling on his back, carrying a brightly coloured jug.
Like they won some football competition.
Yes,
or
he's brandishing it like we won the FA Cup. Like,
Ooh. Yeah, a brightly coloured gallon jug, but like I say, it weighs way more than it should.
Something in it.
yeah, we should definitely investigate this jug.
I'll tell Ozaka see what she thinks.
running sweepstakes when it contains desiccated crocodile balls.
Right. So.
And
Yes,
you got a big
it's
awkward jug.
it's a beautiful jug. I hope it was worth worth the effort.
Better be.
Worth a beard.
And having sweaty dwarf nuts on around your neck for half an hour.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Vibrating
Yeah.
massage balls.
Pay extra for that.
Is it magical? Do we need? Is it obviously magical, or do we need to start casting?
It's not got a label on saying this is magic now. But yeah, it like I said, it weighs. It's a gallon jug, size of a typical gallon jug, but it weighs way more than it was.
It's filled with gold. Smash it.
Do it.
Smash it. It's filled with gold.
Let's just check. Can we do any investigate magic checks on it? Is it magical?
Fafook can ritually cast detect magic if you would like to.
I'm going to say just have Cade and Fafook have a look at it.
Okay.
Go on. We'll be the one told. Tell us what we've got.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so like I say, you pick it up. How much does a how much does
I
a
don't fucking touch it.
okay?
You can put it on the ground, buddy. I'm not touching it.
So what does a full water skin weigh again?
10
Water
pounds.
skin.
10 pounds.
£10? Wow, does it?
No.
5.
5.
5 pounds. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So that's a water. That's like a leather skin. So the thing. So yeah, it probably something like that will probably normally weigh about half of what it actually does. Although it does, like I say, it sounds. Pick it up and shake it, and it sound. You can hear it like
Not
some.
touching it.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Okay.
I know you're not. But yeah, you pick it up and shaking it, you can hear like some liquid sloshing around, and clearly hear something sloshing around inside it.
Ogle, like those crocodile piss.
So yeah, you're gonna cast detect magic on it. Are you doing that via ritual?
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry, is Taxon still on Blue's eyes back?
I presume
No,
not.
no, no, no.
I presume
Okay.
not.
So
Oop.
that says hard to reach when it's up there.
I mean, it's not that far up, but sure.
So yeah, it is magical. It radiates conjuration magic.
Okay. Then okay. Do you want to cast Identify on it?
Please.
Yeah, sure. I'm doing it.
Okay, let me just get my reference thing up. So yeah, you cast Identify on it, and therefore you can make a Arcana check, which you can do at advantage because you know what the magic involved is. Where are you? Magic. Okay. go.
So it's 70.
Sorry, 17?
Yes.
17 on the Arcana check. Okay, right. Right, so you obviously you're doing that. You pick it up. You have to pick it up and like examine it, and mess around with it.
I do. I pick it.
Yeah. So the first thing you discover is that despite it sounding, it being heavy, really heavy, which heavier than it should be, and it's like I say, it sounds like you can hear something sloshing around inside it. You open it up, remove the stopper, and it's empty. And even when you shake it, you shake it again, and despite the fact that you can see it's empty, you can still hear something like as if there's liquid sloshing around inside it.
Wow.
The memory of crocodile piss.
I offer it to Sufuk. I mean, if you wanna try drinking about from it, it might
Fuck
be,
off.
it might be like a health potion, superior
I'm
powers.
not touching the fucking thing. I mean,
You
you
just
can
have
tell
to
me
lick
what
it.
it
You
is.
don't have to touch it. I already touched it. You just have to lick it.
You can tackling keto
Okay, so
from the imaginary jug.
so part of, so while Kay's doing this, is doing the thing, and it's like experiment, because it's part of the thing, just experiment, trying to figure out if it does anything, and you happen to say just by chance you happen to say water.
No, we're probably saying crocodile piss.
Yes, I know you are, but that's not that nothing happens. But just by chance you try saying you say water just as part of your like messing around with it, trying to figure out what it is, and as you do, it fills with water.
Okay, so if I say wine, will it fill up with wine?
So no, it's full. It's filled with water.
Okay, I empty it on the ground, and
Okay,
turn it back, in the right way, and I say wine.
nothing happens.
I say shit.
No, they don't fill with shit. You're all right. But you say water. When you say water,
I
sorry,
say water again. I say water
nothing
again.
happens.
Crocodile piece.
Nothing happens. So you
What do you say?
try.
See, I broke it
Any other
already.
any
It's
other really
useless.
expensive liquid?
Perfume.
Well, you try putting the cork back on and then taking it off and saying water.
Put the cork on and say water.
Okay, nothing happens. It's empty. So Cade is able. So like I said, Cade does it anyway. So Cade is of the opinion that it needs its magical energy needs time to recharge.
All right, just one a day.
So the quantity of water inside it was how
So you poured out roughly.
ounce or two or something.
So you poured out way more than it should have possibly contained. You poured a rough guess about 8 to 10 gallons.
Oh, that's plenty of water for.
No. We could do that with gold or platinum.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do it with anything but water. To be honest.
Yeah, pour out
If
some
you
liquid
want
gold.
a
Oh,
problem,
liquid gold! Ah.
you
Yeah,
want
just
you won't have a problem with water anymore for life.
yeah, as long as you can lug it around.
So it weighs the same regardless of whether it were full or not. So it weighs 12 pounds whether it's empty or full.
It'll just be a few minutes.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so like I say, to put that in somebody's pack, it just fills the pack. So it's quite
12
big and
pounds.
bulky.
12 pounds will fill my pack.
Sorry?
12 pounds doesn't fill my
No,
pack.
no, and it's not about the weight, it's about the size and bulkiness of it.
Volume.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's a helium balloon. It weighs nothing, but it takes up all the space.
Yeah. Another thing that they removed from previous editions, the concept of encumbrance rather than weight.
Sorry, you seem to be in possession of information I'm not.
So
You
previous,
just,
prev
you just told me this weighs 12 pounds. Are you telling me I can't carry it?
it won't fit. It's too big. So the thing is, the way, like Lou says, because what something weighs doesn't necessarily translate to how easy how much space it takes up. So in
I just picked it up.
No, it's not about heavy, it's about size.
Okay. So you're saying I can't strap it to my waist?
no, you could put it in your pack. It'd fit in your pack, but it'd fill the entire pack.
You could carry it over your shoulder like a barrel. That's what we're saying. It's like the size of a barrel. So you could carry it like this, but if you put it in the backpack, that's the only thing that's going to fit in the backpack. It's just big.
Okay, I'll take it for now. But however, I don't understand what you're saying to me. I'll walk with it.
So say if you go to the shop, you buy a big balloon about the size of a wheelie bin. Okay,
Mhm.
it weighs next to nothing, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
But that would not fit in a backpack, would it?
No.
That's what we're
That's what
saying.
we're saying. It's big.
The weight does not necessarily relate to the size. So it's like I say, in previous editions, they had a thing called every item had a thing called encumbrance, which
Mhm.
took into account its weight, but also its bulk.
Mhm.
So, for instance, something could have a low weight, but it could be really bulky, so it had a high encumbrance value. So something could have, regardless of weight, regardless of the weight of something, the volume of it could be, something could be like, for instance, a gold bar, small, really heavy. You could easily fit, quite a lot of them in a backpack, but it'd be ridiculously heavy. But a pillar, some cushions filled with feathers, bigger than a bar of gold, you could probably only fit a couple, 2 or 3 in a backpack.
So I mean, Tacklin's happy to carry it, but what we've got to keep in mind is probably going to redistribute some stuff if it goes into a backpack. If it's carried separately, then it's carried separately. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you can carry your backpack, Tacklin, and you can carry this, but to fight, you're gonna have to put it down.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can carry it in your arms or something.
They're like a big barrel of beer.
Yeah. So it's like a gallon drum.
Right. Shall we? What time of day is it? I mean, how long?
So by this time it's almost you've only got a few hours of a couple of hours of daylight left. So Zaka suggests that you might have to camp here.
What? Fucking zombie zero? No. Fucking hell.
I can move on a bit further, but yeah, well, yes, you can move on a bit further, but you're going to be losing light soon.
Yeah, I do not want to camp in a city that had zombies walking around. Fucking honestly, that's like asking for shit.
Yeah, you can
So
move an hour further downstream and then
yeah, and we got the new
make camp.
boats. We got new boats, so
Yep.
we can make better time.
Okay, so what are you doing? Are you transferring everything from the raft to the boats, or are you tying the boats to the raft, or how are you proceeding now?
Well,
I would
Tie the boat to the
I
raft,
would just
won't
put
we?
everything inside the boats, to be honest, and leave
I
the
think
raft.
you ought to discuss it between yourselves because it sounds like there's a few different opinions there.
There's all of us can fit inside the two boats, so we can just get rid of the raft. We don't
yeah,
need it to carry in extra stuff.
we travel twice as fast in the boats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
potentially. They're far more manoeuvrable than the raft.
And we don't have the fear of them falling apart while we're in the river.
Yeah, exactly. Any objections?
Nope.
Awesome. We
No.
transfer stuff into the boats and we pop down the.
Okay, so who's going in which boat?
I'll go in the left one.
So let's arrange this. So go on. Yeah, sorry,
I'll
go on.
go with you. I will go with
So Cade and Pafuk in one. It's pretty cramped, like, so you can just about squeeze in.
I'm tiny.
Yeah. No, I mean overall you'd be able to, not
What,
just
We'll
the
put
two
a
of them.
all of us
Zaka.
or just the two of us?
No, I mean with
Everyone.
with everyone, yeah, it'll be a tight squeeze, but you'll
Yeah,
just about fit in.
I'd say put a Zaka in with Fafuk and Cade,
Okay,
and then the other four in the other boat.
rightio. So Danny, I'm not going to put them on the boat. I mean, I'm going to say that they do actually look a bit small, but I'm going to say that they're big enough for you to squeeze into.
I'm going to say for the size of them, they look as though they'd be big enough for 4 people.
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah. It'll be like I say, it should do. It'll be a squeeze, but it should accommodate the four of you, or up to 4 people in one room, I imagine.
Cool.
Okay.
Then, fuck 'em.
Rightio.
The boat with a Zaka in goes first.
Rightio. Um. So yeah, so like I said, they're not as roomy as the actual canoes that you had were bigger and they're more room in the canoes. But anyway, right. So we need to go back to the map. Preload that mate. Oh, something there.
A bit funny.
Yeah, I think it's oh, there we go. Had a bit of a fit. Just drop that down a bit. So some of their smart. Right, we'll just wait while everybody finishes loading up onto the big map. Blimey, I didn't think that was going to take that long.
It's loaded up for me.
You what? Sorry?
It's loaded up for me.
Yeah. Well, it'll just take a while for everybody else. It always does, doesn't it?
I'm there.
Yeah, it's got, like I said before, it's because they're all all the like white hexagons. Each one's an individual token, so it just takes a long time, depending on people's connections.
Well, I'm on 1 gig with Virgin now. And
Well,
it's
that's
still
what they told you.
creeping. No. I download things illegally and it comes through as 1 gig. So this is what's coming from your PC, not from what I'm downloading.
Have you tried it with that speed test website?
Yep.
Or is that fake?
No, it's fine.
One moment. He'll do it eventually.
You've kind of what I do for a living, so the
I'm
problem.
He use that.
joking. I'm joking.
The problem is Dan Phil's PC.
No,
What's that?
the real trouble, Dan, is that because we have no experience and understanding of what we don't understand, we are under the effects of Dunning-Kruger effect. Because we know a little bit, we believe we know more than you do, even though you're the expert.
No. I'm definitely not an expert. However, I can see this based off evidence of downloading things from illegal sites. At
No, but Dan, I know you
100%.
lie occasionally, so I can't trust anything you say.
No, yeah, sure.
Welcome to the internet, Dan.
Did you know that I'm actually a girl?
I knew it.
There are no boys on the internet, it's just girls pretending to be boys.
It all makes sense now.
Exactly.
I've got a big blue background.
Oh, sounds well. Yeah, I'll just hit 100% and nothing's happened.
Anyway, I suppose it doesn't really matter. I assume I'm in the middle of the river, and that's why I can see just blue from one side to the other. I'll refresh. Maybe.
Yeah, refresh. It's Dan's dodgy connection. That's what it is.
£100 a month. £100 a month. Don't you dare.
Wow. Really? Pay that?
Shut up. I don't want
Gigabit,
to talk.
gigabit link.
Mine's only 76,
Ah.
and I've got everything.
Yeah, well, I've literally just paid £93 a month, and I've got
Giggy.
one of them O2 Volt Sims as well. So
All right.
yeah, it pushes me over the £100. Anyway,
There's a guy outside in a hut and like he's doing speed test again. Get pedaling on the bike, quick!
yeah,
Did they give you the
I
new?
I swear to God, the guy phoned me last Wednesday, and he was off. He said he came to me. Anyway, I had internet troubles 2 weeks ago, and it was proper dog shit. It kept dropping in and dropping out. And I said to him, "Everything's fine inside the house. It's got to be outside." And he said, "Oh, I'll phone you next Wednesday. I'm not supposed to be working, but I'll phone you." And he phoned me next Wednesday, and everything was fine. And I was like, "Oh yeah, everything's fine." And then like an hour later, everything started dropping out again. I'm like, "No, again, please." Honestly, I'm not supposed to. I'm not supposed to contact you outside of work, but fucking no bad.
Did they give you the new Hub 5?
No, and get this right. I've tried upgrading. I'm sorry, this is really nobody cares. The Virgin. It said to me when I went to upgrade. It said, "Oh, you're on the best package. Everything's perfect. Everything's fine." And then I would talk to this guy, and I said, "No, no, no. You can get 500 gig. You can get 500 meg. You can get 1 gig if you wanted to." Like, oh. I started digging into it, and sure enough, I could get everything bigger than what was available to me. But Virgin just wouldn't offer it me. I had to phone them up and ask and say, "Can I have, please, sir, can I have 1 gigabyte?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. But you've got to pay extra." Like, I don't care. Just give me the 1 gig.
Interesting.
I'm just going to
No,
wait for that
it's
when
just
that
really
community broadband gets up here.
I'm going to say because
Page just loaded for me.
they're supposed to be changing out for all existing customers to the new
in.
Hub 5, which they've just launched. And especially if you're going on to stuff like a gig, you've got to have the Hub 4 or Hub 5.
I couldn't upgrade to the 1 gig with my current equipment. It would not let me.
Yeah. So you've got to have the Hub 4 or the newer
Yep,
Hub 5.
I'm on 500. I'm on 500 as it stands.
Right, so can everyone see the map?
I think Lee's just restarting.
Yes, I can. I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, it keeps whispering. When people load into map, it sends me a whisper that they've changed the weather.
Yeah. Very odd.
It is. Very strange.
They keep reloading the map and spam your feed with weather notifications, Phil.
Where are we?
We're at the
just by
destroyed
Camp Right. Yeah, Camp Righteous.
Yeah, Camp Righteous. That's it.
That's why the hex is in red.
Yep, that red outline. You can just see. Well, you maybe can't see what it says, like party. It's a party marker.
Oh yeah, it's just the end of the X.
Oh, Luhai still at Camp Righteous. Going to that. Right. Anyway, so you move on for a little bit. So I'm not going to move the marker because it's going to be an inconsequential amount. Let's see. And finally, so Azaka suggests camping on the opposite side of the river because the undead. It's clearer. It's clearer from undead on that side of the river.
All right.
Excellent.
On the west
Well,
side, it's
Who made
safer.
need to be on for Camp Vengeance.
Who
Anyway,
made that
so.
plane sound?
That's the whisper. That bing bong. It's a
Sounds
whisper
like when you're
alert.
on a plane.
Yeah.
It's like when you're on a plane. When the seatbelt light comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There, Luhai's just loaded in and sent a weather report. Right, so yeah.
You asked for it, didn't you?
It's really weird. I figure out why it's doing that. So yeah, you go for 2, 3, 4. And you disembark, hack your way through the vegetation, and set up. Well, start setting up a camp where of course, or clearing area where Cade is going to summon your shelter when you're ready to retire for the evening.
Yep.
Okay, so
Thank you, Cade.
yeah, right. Well, does this work? It does. So the night passes without event, and you awake to a slightly cooler day and a light drizzle falling through the tree canopy.
For that Luke High's weather report then.
Yep.
Light drizzle.
just a cloud above his head, following around.
Grey
I'm not
cloud.
in his boat. He can be in your boat.
57 degrees, that's pretty cool for a jungle, isn't it?
Yeah, it is 68,
Very.
68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Sorry, what's that in real temperatures?
Oh God, I don't know, like 38 or something, is it? I don't know.
Oh no, that's
Divided
way
by
too hot.
1 minus 30.
No, it's a lot less than that.
Is it?
In
I don't know.
Celsius. 20. It's like
20.
UK.
20.
It's like UK weather on a cool day.
Yeah, but it's humid, so the temperature's low, but it's still really, it's still really humid.
Yeah, that's fine. It's raining on his eye. It's all
Yeah.
good.
It's not, yeah. So it's more, it's basically it's wet, but it's always wet. It's more pleasant. It's more it's more endurable for you because you're not obviously not acclimatized to this temperature
How
climate.
we filling his water skins up with from the jug?
Oh, I forgot.
Well, no, we want to try something else. But it's raining, so we can use our water catcher.
Yep. So presumably set it up during the night, so that will have captured enough water overnight.
Perfect. And then back down the river after we tested the jug.
Okay.
See where
So
we go. Go on, Tacklin. What do you want? You've got the jug. What do you want from the jug?
Beer.
it fills with beer.
Nice.
Fuck off.
Okay, we got a jug of alchemy then.
You meant to say wine, not beer?
Ask Tacklin what he wanted. He doesn't want fuck of wine. He wants beer. Yeah, Tacklin. Happy times for you.
I divvied the beer up, Phil.
Okay. Does people want beer in the water skins?
No,
No,
I don't.
If you want to just, I'm just gonna pour it into the face. If you want it.
What? Into somebody's face?
You're gonna
Yeah.
chug. Yeah. You're gonna see if you want to chug the beer from the.
Chug. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Looking on it in astonishment, like, what is this? What is this?
Awesome. I mean, I don't want to Google the item. I just recognize what it is. But can they produce magic potions like
Well, you'll have to experiment with it.
Healing.
Healing potions.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you might be able to do a healing potion out of it. I suspect not, but it's worth a shot. The next,
Yeah.
it recharges.
So, yep. Make a list.
Cool.
I hope to remember to make a list of what you can get out of it.
Well, we tried crocodile piss and that didn't work.
So far you've got fresh water and beer.
Well, that's pretty much enough for pretty much everybody, I think.
It's worth
A nice Pinot Grigio would be good, maybe on occasion.
that's two,
Right. I suppose
How
we
about
2 weeks for anybody's
into the
time.
boats upriver.
Oh.
Yes.
about liquid experience, Phil?
What's that?
That's beer, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Sounds horrible, whatever it is.
Okay, so you eventually break camp then and load up the boats and set off again. I was going to say something I can't remember. Right.
You know, like sails on these things.
Oops.
These are proper sort of little.
Yeah, just
rowboats.
rowboats. Yeah, just rowboats. Okay, so that's what. Right. So you apart from a brief stop for what for drinking and a rest and eating some rations, the day passes. You pass a quiet day on the river. So sort of shortly after midday, you do on the east bank. You do catch glimpse of you see like a large sort of disturbance through the undergrowth, and you catch sight of like a massive group of people that you quickly with Zaka's help, you're able to quickly identify them as being undead, and there's hundreds of them in this massive group,
Oh, zombie
just
rave.
like still just swarming through the jungle.
What, like following us?
No, they don't appear to be following. You lose sight of them after about half an hour or so, but they're just the like stretch. This like I said, there's hundreds of them. This group stretches for probably like 100 yards or more.
That's 3 fireballs. Kate, what do you think? Bang,
I
bang,
mean,
bang.
we could do it.
Say again.
No.
Sorry. Do you want to fireball them?
Yeah, I mean, I can if that's what you think the best action. Sure. No.
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 No?
Can you reach?
Zaka like catches.
150 feet. That's the distance I can.
So Zaka catches wind of what you're talking about, and she strongly suggests that you don't do that. You might draw unwanted attention. You might cause a fire, and you might kill. You're risking killing unnecessarily killing wildlife, and
Fireball fun in the jungle.
she's not happy about that. She can't stop you, of course, but she's really not happy about the idea of you doing that unnecessarily.
Is there concern that we may burn down part of the forest, destroying hundreds of undead, if not thousands? Or is it concern the little creatures in the woods?
Yes, and that you might attract the attention of possibly more than you can handle. As Aka tells you, she tells you stories she's seen. Well, you've seen what's happened to Camp Righteous, and she's seen evidence firsthand, or rather from a distance at least, of what big groups like hordes of these undead can do. They just overrun. They're unstoppable, and they just overrun places. It's like trying to stop a flood.
Okay. I suppose we should bow to a greater sort of knowledge on the matters. That's why we pay her.
Oh, we're not actually paying her, are we?
Well, we did. We paid her in blood, sweat, and tears and a magical mask.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Alright, I suppose we'll crack on, really.
Okay.
Unless someone wants to do something else.
But yeah, like I said, that's just like one, sort of only thing of note that happened during the day. Which, but yeah, so and then you disembark from towards the end of the day, disembark from the river again on the west bank, um, under advice from Azaka, since she claims it's the safest side, and set up camp again. So she says you should reach Camp Vengeance just after midday tomorrow.
Okay.
There's any particular anybody's wanted to do?
No.
Not right now.
Okay. sorted. Okay, so you set up camp, run through all the your normal procedures, and eventually retire for the evening.
Yeah, mate.
And again, the night passes without any serious incident. You hear and see various bits of wildlife, but nothing nothing of any of real note, or certainly nothing that puts you in danger anyway.
Okay.
Carry on.
Okay. Right, so you set off again, and true to Azaka's word, just after midday, about let's see, I need to change that to next date. Boom. So it's the 8th of Fireseek. Boom, 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 boom. You come in sight of a fortified camp. Let me just bring that up. Which Azaka claims announces as being Camp Vengeance. So as as you come down the river through the foliage, you see a crude timber fortification, a walled compound with watchtowers and tents inside it, encircled by a ditch bristling with sharpened stakes, although the ditch itself is just filled with like muddy, filthy, foul-looking water. And there's a large gatehouse that faces the river, and on the shore of the river are tied several rowboats. Scattered around the fort, the exterior of the fort, are piles of charred human corpses and flayed animal carcasses, just massive black clouds of flies swarming around it all.
They've learned a few lessons from last time.
It looks like it.
Sorry, the animals and corpses, were they undead?
Can't tell. There's human corpses and animal. There's piles of human corpses, of burnt human corpses, and flayed animal carcasses.
Okay. Sounds disgusting. I'm not sure what it means. I mean, is it like a recognized part of camp to see stuff like this? Do we think it's a lure for undead? Or do we think it's something that came from the camp and they've just like dumped stuff there and then just tried to bury
So
it?
Azaka says, from what it's probably the what's left of undead that have assaulted the camp.
Okay,
But as to the flayed animals, she's not sure. Maybe they leave them out there to lure undead towards the camp. She's no idea. One moment, I shall put you on the map.
hey, we could nick a few more boats and we could ride in comfort. What do you guys think? You don't even have to stop here. I mean, strictly speaking, there's no reason for us to stop here. We could just nick some boats and keep on going. What do you guys think?
There isn't a real need for us to stop here, but at
We
least
can
it's going to be a safer
parlay.
place. Yeah, it's a safer place to rest.
Tiger.
I know, tiger popped up then.
Fucking stupid. Ugh.
Why does the tiger keep popping up? Have you got there's like
It's this stupid search engine thing on here.
Fucking still injured as well.
Oh yeah, so you've had too long rest, by the way. Sorry, That should mention that really, shouldn't I?
Oh, yeah, I've sorted mine out.
No, I've not.
How'd you get the long rest? Where'd you click for that?
Where your character icon is in the top left of your character sheet, there should be a bed icon. And if you hover
Oh,
over it, it brings up 2 hourglasses.
Gotcha.
One half for short rest, and then one half full, half empty for long rest.
Perfect. Thank you. That's nice. Place was good to last nonsense.
Have you always? Sure.
Yeah, but on my sheet it actually knocks them off when you use them. If you use them through your sheet, it knocks off your spell slots, and it doesn't give them back to you. So I was just kind of like forcing it to cast the spells anyway, ignoring the slots, while doing a long rest gives me my slots back, so it keeps me honest. Cool. Okay. Well, I mean, do we want to break the bad news about
Undrill.
Undrill if they're expecting it?
Don't know. Were they expecting her?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Might
don't
as well
know.
pass the news along since we're here.
Yeah.
So yeah, the camp's ringed by a 20-foot deep ditch. Although most of it's flooded. It's lined with sharpened stakes, backed by a stout 12-foot high log palisade. The gatehouse looks pretty well fortified. I mean, it's all wood, you know, it's all built from logs and whatever, but it looks like it's quite strongly constructed. And you can see two men at arms posted on top of it, as well as you can see another guard or men at arms or whatever you want to call them on one of the on the nearest tower. So they obviously clock you as soon as you come down rowing down the river or up the river. So we'll just assume that you've that you've
We've
yeah
arrived.
docked where the other rowboats are. But yeah, there's four boats plus your two.
For food costs, thaumaturgy cantrip to boost his voice to 3 times normal levels. And bellows at the gatehouse. Hello, the camp.
All right. One of the guards sort of leans over the like parapet and says, "What business do you have?"
Nothing really. Thought you'd pass you some news, and then we're carrying on up the river.
What news do you have that is the business of the Order of the Gauntlet?
We were escorting a cleric of yours named Undrill Silvertusk. Unfortunately, we would like to inform you she sadly passed away.
Right, he sort of turns to the other guard. No, do not want that there.
Long-term madness.
Aren't you rolling long-term madness for level?
What the fuck? Hell?
It's morphed into a Cthulhu game.
Jesus Christ! What the fuck
It's
is
going to
going
be like
on
the
here?
cabin in the woods.
I vote we run like fucking hell right now. I wrote we turn around, jump in the boats, and row like fucking Billy-O until we're out of sight of this
Yeah.
place.
So
Find
yeah,
out
so
that
this guard turns to the other guard, and the
It says, "I'm a chicken." It shoots them both.
they like appear to have like a brief exchange, and then he sort of shrugs and waves and like sort of waves his sort of raises his hand and seems to be like having a bit of an argument with the other
We
guy.
surrender to you. Okay, sorry, carry
And then he comes over and says, like shaking his head, and says, "You better come in and see the captain."
on. No, you're all right. You're all right. We've delivered our news. We'll be on our way. Have a nice day. Sorry to have disturbed you. Many apologies. Let's go.
I think we might need to use this as a staging post to get to where we need to
Be
go to
logical.
next.
Let's just. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Cheers. Call the rest over and head into our long-term madness roll of 60.
That's what happened to that dwarf, isn't it?
Long-term madness roll of 60.
Did you have monkey brain fever?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. We're heading to the camp then.
Okay,
Monkey brain fever coming
right.
right up.
So the guard like climbs down from the top of the gatehouse and eventually reappears. No, it's there. It's weird. Eventually, the gates. He reappears as he opens the gates.
I suppose we toddle into the facilities.
Okay, so the guard escorts you across the camp. The camp's strangely quiet. Apart from the only real thing, apart from the background, you can hear a few people coming and going. Mutter sounds of people, a few people going about the business. But aside that and there's background jungle sound. The only real thing you can hear is the like sounds of these goats pending in one corner.
So head in and we meet up with the guard. I'll just ask if they've had much trouble at their new location from the undead. As you saw, quite a large horde of them on the opposite side of the river a few miles back.
What's everybody else doing? So,
Try
Zach,
right clicking on people's names in the chat.
sorry.
Tried right clicking on people's names in the Foundry chat.
Reveal
private.
to everyone. Make private. Yeah, not seen that before.
Apply damage, apply healing, apply double damage, apply half damage.
Oh, right.
Oh, what's that about?
I don't know, things like that.
Just mistakenly clicked on it.
If you click on yourself, right click, then it says make private.
Yeah.
There's some functionality I'm not aware of. Yeah, so is with somebody else. So obviously Salida and Azaka, they follow him inside. Right, Jacqueline
Inside.
and Cade.
I'm watching the camp, I'm suspicious about
So you're
You look injured.
already.
yes, Cade's never suspicious. So Cade's staying by the boats at the moment. Is it? What's Jacqueline doing?
I'll stay with Cade.
Okay, sticking with Cade. Fair enough. Right. So the guard escorts you to this tent here.
Still looks injured.
Yeah, it does. Because someone's applied half damage to.
No, I right clicked on Obold and then said apply damage to see what would happen. So it's damaged me, not Obold.
Ah, right.
That's interesting. It's like a proper little problem here. Anyway, carry on.
Right. So where's my key for this place? Okay, so the guard that leads this tent, and he stops for a moment, takes out his sword, draws his sword from his sheath, and sort of stares at it,
Oh.
starts staring at the blade. What?
Here we go again.
He like stares at it, and he like starts sort of takes a cloth and starts rubbing at something on the blade. It's like just like rubbing, like and it gets rubbing more and more furiously as if he's trying to like remove something.
I'll
And it's
just cough loudly.
right. Look, it looks up as if he's like suddenly. Uh, Captain Breakbone, sir. And he walks. He heads back to the gatehouse.
Before he goes, can I cast Missile Restoration on him? The guard.
I don't know that would be noticeable casting. Probably not noticeable casting that, would it?
Um, let's have a check on it. Helmet. So sneaky. Verbal and somatic.
God, it's bloody sound.
I asked the guard. Oh, thank you for your help. I would love to place a benediction on you as a great thanks for your assistance.
Lesser restoration. Verbal and somatic. Let's see. You can make a persuasion check, I suppose.
Oh yeah. What's my persuasion? Pretty sure it's close to +1.
A charismatic
Yeah.
bard doing it at his best.
+1.
Oh.
7.
So he looks up and down and says, I'm sorry, you don't appear to be a priest of Horonius, so I'm afraid I appreciate the offer, but I'm afraid I can't accept.
Yeah.
And
No worries.
he returns to his post. Ooh.
Google whisper at Obold. Activate native jungle too.
Yeah, I think I have.
Okay, so yeah, so like I say, you've got this tent of just a gruff voice. Come in. Who is it?
Fafuk will step in and introduce himself.
I'll stay outside the tent for
Okay, what's everybody else doing?
probably going to be a mistake, but I'll leave for food to handle it.
So Azaka and Salida, they wander off looking around the camp.
Okay, what do I see in the tent?
Okay, so right, so there's it's quite well appointed inside, although there's a smell like a pervasive smell of like damp and mildew. There's a bed quite well attired bed, but dominating the room is the table with like that's covered in scrolls and maps, and this guy who I presume is Commander Breakbone. He's poring over these maps and he's got all sorts of like thick markers on things and things pinned, things pinned down, and he's got got a scroll opening with God knows what, some text written on it that is poring over, and then looks at the map and just looking puzzled and frustrated. And he glances at us and says, who are you? Who let you in?
traveling upriver, and a cleric named Brindle Silvertusk was part of our party. She asked if she could come with, but unfortunately, she passed during our journey upriver through a extremely unfortunate incident, and since we were passing by your camp, we thought it best to notify you of the unfortunate incident, in case you were expecting her. She's not coming, she's dead.
Silver Tusk. The name doesn't ring a bell.
Well, in that case,
Have you come back from patrol?
Yes, Commander, we've come back from patrol.
Why are
Nothing
you out of uniform?
I am sorry, I stepped in some dinosaur dung and I felt it best to clean up before I presented myself to you.
Right, it seems to consider this for a moment. Well, see you get changed to uniform immediately.
Immediately, Commander, and Fafuk backs out, trying to look as soldierly as he can. Do I make it out the tent without him flipping?
Yeah, he seems to like forget you as soon as you, just looks away and goes back to studying his maps.
Fafuk steps out. There are no guards around the tent, right?
No.
Fafuk
Like I
steps
say,
out
it's
the
strange
tent.
for such a big camp. It's strangely quiet.
Fafuk steps out and says to Design, "Oh bold, this guy is mad as a hatter. His brain is rotten through and through. So we have two choices. Either we try and get him fixed, which I may be able to do, but I doubt he would ever agree to, or we just get out of here right now."
I don't hear this, do I?
No, because you're back way back over there, so you and Tackling are completely oblivious to all this.
Okay, no worries.
We'll have a peek through this tent, Phil.
Okay, right. You peer into the interior of this tent here. It appears to be like a medical tent. There's two women dressed. Yeah, dressed in uniform. You can see like they're wearing some of the regalia like clerics of Erroneous, but the clothes are like dirty and bloodstained. They appear to be like tending to numerous wounded soldiers inside this tent.
So what does Obold say to the news that Fafuk is dumped on his lap? Fix or flee?
Hmm.
Can I get one of the attentions? The clerk's attentions, Phil.
Yeah, how are you gonna do that? What are you gonna do?
Well,
Just like what?
call her over.
Right, yeah. So one of them turns round. You can see like she turns round. She's like like a front of a smock is just like I say, it's blood. Even but it's like really heavily blood stained, and she's got some like medical implements in her hand. Hands are like are dirty and blooded as well, along with the implements. She turns around and says, "Yes, how can I help you? My name is Sister Caius.
It's the head of your order.
I'm the head of the Order of Heronius here at the Order of the Gauntlets camp.
It's just so it should be at Camp Vengeance.
No, there are only a few of the men stationed here that survived the assault at Camp Vengeance. Only a handful survived.
We've just come from there,
Oh,
and while I was looking around, found this. I'll dig out the holy symbol. I found Phil.
All right, right. She looks. She seems to forget what she's been doing, and she puts down these implements and comes over and goes to take it from you. You gonna let her take it? Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, right. She takes it and sort of turns it over in her hand a few times, getting it to getting quite a bit of blood all over it. And she looks up here, looks up at you, and smiles. Says, "Thank you. That's most kind."
You're
And
welcome.
she drops it on the floor and then returns to what she was doing. What are you doing?
Back out the tent then.
Okay. What's everybody else doing?
So, Bold, fix a flea.
Oh,
Yeah, you
I
grabbed
got-
it already.
I
So
got
stop grunting and give me an answer, buddy. Oops on the fence.
I don't know, because believe as they are, they'll probably just all die.
Are you saying this out loud?
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's enough. She was on the fence. So Fufuk will poke his head back into the tent. Cast Charm Person on the camp commander.
Okay. Let's see. So that's verbal and somatic. Okay, go on then. See what happens. He will know you've cast it on him. So these are spell slots. So then it say, what's a save?
15 wisdom.
Wisdom, 15 wisdom save.
I think his wisdom's probably shot.
No, that's what I'm hoping. Stop looking really hard.
Right, he suddenly turns and stares at you. What was that, soldier? What were you trying to do then?
Oh.
Guards! Guards! Get here immediately!
I cast Charm Person on him again.
Okay. Right. So a guard appears and comes rushing past. You can hear this commotion. Oh, obviously, Luhai and Lowball, you can hear this commotion going off inside, and this guard comes rushing over to the tent. Okay. He rushes and he disappears inside, and he goes inside the tent.
I'll follow him inside the tent, Phil.
Okay. So the guard comes in. Goes, Captain Breakbone, Commander Breakbone, what's the matter? What can you? And the commander goes, what is it, soldier? What do you want? And the soldier, the guard, just looks at the guard, looks at the commander, and he just sort of looks a bit puzzled, and then bursts into tears and runs off.
So Fufuk will quietly talk to the commander, like a best friend style, and say, Commander, I think you've been feeling a little under the weather, and I may have something that may help you feel a lot better. If you let me cast a bit of a blessing on you, I think it'll make you feel a lot better.
Right,
I know it's been a bit of a strain on you recently.
he grabs your shoulder and pulls you in close. He goes, things are getting out of hand. We're making a good we managed to make a good stand here after the disaster at Camp. I've forgotten the name of it now. Camp Righteous.
Oh yeah, it is Raptors. Yeah.
Yeah, Camp Righteous.
For Fuchs to
But
literally plays along as much as he can now.
but something's happening. I need allies I can trust, just like you, soldier. I know I can trust you.
Absolutely, Commander. Are you willing for me to cast this blessing on you? I'm sure it will help you greatly.
You can make a persuasion check. You can do it with advantage, I suppose, since he considers you a friend at the moment. Well, no, you don't appear to be of the order, but since I can trust you, by all means, take all the help we can get.
I cast lesser restoration on the die.
Great.
I'm really hoping that he's got like that monkey fever that we heard about. To make an assumption is a disease, since it's waterborne, I think.
Okay.
And see if it changes his manner.
Right, it stands there while you perform this blessing, and then he like sort of straightens up his uniform, leads it. There's been some double agents in the camp, traitors sweeping across the area. We managed to get control of the situation, but our numbers have been severely depleted.
I understand, Commander. Do you have any orders for me?
I sent a patrol out to Mabala, the ruins of Mabala. We heard from one of the guys that there's a witch doctor out there that can provide might be able to provide us with magical aid. But they've been gone. They've been gone 2 weeks. We've not heard from them since.
Would you like me to go find out what happened to this patrol and report back, Commander?
That's an excellent idea, soldier. That's an excellent idea.
Fook tries to salute like a soldier would do. It's like waves an arm at him and backs out the tent.
Looks like Rimmer.
What's that?
A red dwarf.
How's he salute?
He just does this over convoluted like.
Oh, yes. Okay. He's like trying to guess at what the soldiers do based on no knowledge. Like fist in the air and then like maybe thump chest or something, who knows. And then backs out the tent. And do I get out of the tent in one piece?
Yeah. He stands and salutes you as you leave.
Okay. Fook makes a mental note of what the salute looks like for future reference.
We saw that ghost knight do it, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? Excellent point.
That ghost knight did the salute, didn't he?
Yes, it did. No, that's a good point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and at which point Fook will then turn to Kobold and I suppose Lazar if you're there and just say, Chomp Camp Commander, quietly. Chomp Camp Commander, we've got under an hour where he's going to look favorably on us. I've cast lesser restoration on him, and he's still out of his fucking gourd crazy. So I think we should go ask Azaka if there's some kind of local remedy for whatever is happening in these parts. Either way, I think we need to get out of here before, they turn on us and it gets all bonkers.
Yeah, I think it's like suffering from some kind of stress.
Or just
Well,
madness.
I mean, I cast Lesser Restoration, which should undo disease impacts, but and it obviously will cure a few other things, but it's certainly not done anything to the plant. It's still acting the same way, just a little bit more friendly disposed to us at the moment. So
Right,
can we
the
head out
commander
and open-
emerges from the tent as you stood there talking. Ah, there you are, soldier.
Yes, Commander.
Is this your contingent?
Yes, Commander. We're about to head out and track down the missing patrol, as you ordered us.
I will delay that order.
Yes, Commander.
Since you are a valued friend, I'd like you to extend an invitation to stay over in the camp until you're ready to set out, or at least let me show you some. What's the word?
Show me the fucking horrible.
Hospitality.
Hospitality. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. I believe the chef is preparing a decent meal for us tonight for a change. I'll have some of the one of the men allocate you on your contingent some tents.
Thank you, Commander. You are too kind.
Right, and he shouts for a guard, and this same guard, still sort of sobbing, comes over and Commander Breakbone rather, not Backbone, tells him to allocate you some sleeping quarters, and he leads you over to some tents here at the back. And then, so when you get there, he sort of he looks over to the far side of camp, seems to get distracted, and he wanders off.
I'll try and find the guide, Phil.
Sorry?
Guys, I'm afraid I've got to cut it short.
Yeah, it is getting a bit late. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose we'll leave it there.